I've been in the Assembly since 2018 when I was elected. Not a single constituent has ever called to complain. Not a single constituent has ever stopped me at the grocery store, which happens often, to ask me about, or to mention to me about who's on their kid's soccer team. Not one. They do stop me. They tell me about housing. They ask me about traffic, about crime, public services like healthcare, childcare. They always have something to say about the DMV. Because these are the things that they care about. Now, contrary to what Assemblymember Sanchez claimed in her opening remarks, in all due respect, Assemblymember, there is no epidemic of transgender kids playing basketball and soccer or any other sport for that matter. There are more kids right now with measles in Texas than there are transgender athletes playing in the NCAA. Look, in December, this past December, NCAA President Charlie Baker, he testified at a congressional hearing that out of more than 500,000 total college student athletes, he believed that fewer than 10 of those athletes were transgender. That's not an epidemic. Again, when there are currently more kids with measles in Texas than there are transgender athletes in the NCAA, that's the epidemic we should all be worried about.
When we saw the president stand in the Rose Garden holding up that chart that you helped make, that wasn't actually tariffs. That was actually confusing to investors because it was some kind of other formula, and the countries themselves seemed kind of random. Like, why are the Heard and McDonald Islands, which don't export to the United States and are quite literally inhabited by penguins, why do they face a 10% tariffs? Did you use AI to generate this?
No, the idea is
why are they on the list?
Left off. Because the idea, what happens is, if you leave anything off the list, the countries that try to basically arbitrage America go through those countries to us. Any country, like we had tariffs, the president put tariffs on China, right, in 2018, and then what China started doing is they started going through other countries to America.
Right.
They just built through other countries through America. And so the president knows that, he's tired of it, and he's going to fix that. So basically he said, look, I can't let any part of the world be a place where China or other countries can ship through them. So he ended those loopholes, these ridiculous loopholes, and now what he's trying to say is, I'm going to fix the trade deficit of the United States of America. It's a national security issue. We need to make medicine. We need to make semiconductors. We need to make ships. We need to have steel and aluminum. Come on. We need the greatness of America to actually be built in America, and he's tired of...
What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
Dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God! Fuck!
So, like, what would happen if, I don't know, that half the population plus in America that's really unhappy right now with this administration went into their W-2s and selected to pay no federal taxes at all? I mean, they've been threatening to not pay judges and not pay nonprofits and not pay for Social Security and not pay for Medicaid and not pay for anything. So I'm kind of like, why are we paying anything at all if we're going to have to fight for our own money to be spent in ethical ways? There's a lot of people right now doing the general strike type thing and signing up for it. I'm just saying, organize.
That's not true. And this shows, again, the American people do not trust Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is incompetent in his position. And how do we know? Because they fired tens of thousands of people. It was challenged in court. The court said the people have to go back, and now the people are coming back. He's incompetent. He's a thief. He's a Nazi, and people don't trust him. Period.
Let me just.
Hey, Rara.
I've always liked to play with fire. I've always liked to play with fire.
I have to say, I do not care about the economy if the government in this country claims it can break down anyone's doors, seize anyone with no due process, put them on a plane, and send them to a foreign jail where who knows what's going to happen to them. I want to say the last person in this country who did that was called George III. This is fundamental to this country's survival, to the meaning of this country. We do not let people violate people's security without due process, without law. Period.
When the second home stamp duty tax was brought in, I was very surprised because I didn't think the Conservatives would tax rich people. I looked into it. There was an exemption for people who bought 7 or more homes at once. And then Jeremy Hunt went and bought 7 homes. Listen, I understand it is difficult to tax rich people because politicians are rich people and they're funded by rich people and they put loopholes in the system that mean rich people don't pay them and it ends up being paid by working people. That doesn't mean we don't do it.
Okay,
if you don't
I'm not sure that's answered the question.
The terrorist is at his known location, so should be on time. Also, strike drones launch MQ-9s. MQ-9s is a weapon system, correct?
They are.
Okay. I think applying the executive order as well as the DoD manual to this fact pattern, we clearly have weapon systems that have been identified. That is classified information. Now, the reason why it's important that this information not be disclosed is that we don't want the adversaries to know what's about to happen, right, sir?
Well, I would draw a small distinction there. You referenced and asked if that platform, those 2 platforms are weapon systems. They are, but those terms are used all across the globe in a lot of contexts. So it's really about how they're used in the context of this particular document. I just want to clarify that the use of those.
I understand.
Yeah.
In this situation, those are operational details.
They are operational details, but again, as you quoted the DoD instruction, it's about operations. So as you further go down into what are the operational details, I think as we had a discussion yesterday, the important aspect, I think all of us are very familiar.
This is classified information. This is classified information. It's a weapon system as well as sequence of strikes as well as details about the operations. And so I think that just piggybacking off of what some other members have said, using the DoD's manual as well as the executive order in operation today with the Trump administration, this text message is clearly classified information.
Country. They don't care about public safety, they don't care about emergency management, and they don't care about free speech, all of which are harming American people. In fact, I'm going to skip off real quick because they have tried to come for you, Ms. Mayor, and I just want to clarify, you did not work for NPR when those statements were made, did you?
That is correct, Madam
And to
Chair.
be clear, free speech is not about whatever it is that y'all want somebody to say. And the idea that you want to shut down everybody that is not Fox News is bullshit. We need to stop playing because that's what y'all are doing in here. You don't want to hear the opinions of anybody else. And the Constitution says Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the
gentlewoman's time has expired. The gentlewoman's time has expired.
Senator, I don't want to get into the specifics.
Ma'am, were you on? You're not going to be willing to address. So you're not. Are you denying? Matt, will you answer my question, ma'am? You were not TG on this group chat.
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
So you refuse to acknowledge whether you were on this group chat.
Senator, I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why are you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified?
Because this is currently under review by the National Security Council.
Because it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
As the White House previously
stated, is it classified or non-classified information on this text?
I can confirm.
Look at that. So they just dropped. That was easy? Yeah. So it should be only one should drop. Yeah, it must get easy or something.
Well, first of all, Lisa, do you consent to a second date?
Do I have a last question that I can ask?
Sure.
Okay, plot twist.
Let's go for it.
It's like bonus rounds.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for the Trump cabinet. But with that comes a lot of things, like a cabinet that has...
A cabinet? I can't! Oh, heart is broken. I enjoyed my evening with you, but I have to stick to my morals and my principles in democracy.
What a plot twist.
The crowd has turned into Jerry Springer up in here. This is hilarious.
Fight.
All right. Well, Lisa, thank you so much.
So
welcome. Listen, everyone's got to stick to what they believe in.
Whoa.
Eric, are you surprised with how this went?
Not really.
No? Were you expecting something like this?
I kind of seemed like they were all on the other side.
よいしょ、ポチンとボタンを押していましたと、まずはロッククライミング、垂直上昇、そして途中からはマイナス110度のオーバーハング、しかしそれを難なく今こなしました。余裕のゴメスです。さあその後一気に滑り落ちて、さあここからがローリングマルタバス、5本のマルタをナックルウォーキングであっという間にクリア。よいしょ、2個の回転バックをここにスタート。これも速い。ゴメス速い。俺を見ろ。よいしょ。おっと、そのままロープで飛び移って2個飛ばしです。2本飛ばして90度ターン。そしてここからは本家よりも急勾配を登っていきました。クリアしていきますゴメスです。最後に待っているのはロープの森。下がるロープをこれも片手でスイまさに自分の庭です。まさに自分のためのバトルステージ、バトルサーキットを今クリアしようとしています。さあフィニッシュゾーンはその下、ロープを降りてゴールボタンを押しました。1分7秒。よいしょい。どんなもんだい。お疲れ様です。早かったですね。いや絶好調ですよ私。何の迷いもなかったですね。足りません、ありませんよそんなもん。はい、拍手。
The funniest shit ever. So this guy, for years, who always flown those Trump flags, well, nah, he turned the motherfucker upside down because Trump is fucking all the farmers. Look at this shit. I hope he fucks them all up, man. This is between coming from Helena and going to Little Rock, and now all of a sudden his Trump 2024 flag is flying upside down. He had to pay a lot of money for that motherfucker, man. They put that flagpole there, and for years he's always flown the Trump flags. And Trump fucked him in 2016 and to 2020, and now Trump's fucking him from 2025 all the way to 2028, and now now it's upside down and half mast. I hope he fucks around his whole farm. I hope he destroys them with his stupid fucking terrorists and like he's fucking all these farmers. Well, good for you, sir. I guess you fucked around and found out, huh?